What's up, plant people? This is Plants Be Preaching, and I am the Jasmine Sims. Now, I know that there are a plethora of people that you can go to for all of your house plant growing needs, plant enthusiasts, plant professionals, and I just want to let you know that I am not a professional. I am not a horticulturist. I am just a plant-loving woman who is learning as she goes, and I am inviting you on my plant-loving learning. That the only thing that sets me apart from the dirt in these pots is the fact that the living God chose to breathe inside of me and call me to be his image bearer. So I invite you on this journey, and I cannot wait to share lessons and learn more lessons from our plants, because they be preaching. Today's lesson that I've learned from my plants is what works for you doesn't have to work for everybody else. Okay? What works for one plant isn't always going to work for another. So this is my prayer plant, and this is Mother Johnson, because she's a prayer plant. And Mother Johnson, the prayer plant, well, first of all, they're called prayer plants because at night their leaves fold up like this, and then they unfold in the morning, hence the name. But prayer plants love humidity, they love moisture. Now, when it comes to light, direct sunlight, that's not her ministry. She ain't with it. She ain't got time for it. She ain't built for it. When my prayer plant is in direct sunlight, I know because, you live and you learn, you make mistakes. When she's in direct sunlight, her leaves, they get scorched. And I end up needing to give her a haircut and trim the dead and dying things and just getting rid of the damage, more for aesthetic purposes, but yeah, I get rid of the damage and the burnt leaves. And because direct sunlight that ain't her thing. It's not her cup of tea. Now, the ZZ, on the other hand, this is Miss Badu. The ZZ plant, she can tolerate direct sunlight. She's like, okay, cool. You feel me? And that's her thing. That works for her. That's great. That's what's good for the ZZ plant. Doesn't mean it's good for the prayer plant because they are different. Even when it comes to growth, my prayer plant is consistently putting out new leaves. Here's a new leaf coming in here. Here's another new leaf coming in here. There's a few more in the back. She's consistently putting out new leaves. Now, Miss Badu here, she's a slow grower. She takes her time. She don't rush. And I think this lesson is beneficial to us because I think that there's a lot of us who could benefit from just appreciating our own process and our own journey and understanding that we don't have to sell it to somebody else because it worked for us. And I don't have to buy somebody else's process because it worked for them, right? Like, your needs are different. My needs are different. And the way I go about my life and the way that I bloom and blossom and grow is going to be different. And that is okay. One process isn't better than the other, right? Like, I'm not judging my plants based off who is giving me a new leaf sooner or quicker. Now, I'm always get hyped when a new leaf come in though, so. But all things come in their own time, in their own season, and at their own pace. And just like the plants, I think we would benefit from just figuring out our needs, figuring out what works for us, figuring out in what environment and condition produces the healthiest growth. The healthiest growth. I think we will all benefit from that. And I know that it's frustrating when you get a new plant and you're trying to figure out what's the watering regimen, what's the light requirements, and the soil, what kind of soil do I buy, and all of those things. It's frustrating for us as well, trying to figure out what should I do, how should I do it, how should I go about this. But if you are patient and allow yourself the room to try out different things and grow, I can promise you that eventually you will bloom. And what works for you works for you, and what's good for somebody else doesn't have to be good for you. Plants be preaching though. Plant tip: do not be afraid to cut dead things off of your plant. I know it can be daunting, but a lot of dead things, they kind of turn into The Walking Dead when you think about it. Like, they dead, but they have the ability to kill still. And so we have these dying leaves and dead things in our plant, and they can suck the nutrients and the life from the plant just because of their connection to it. So just because it's dead doesn't mean that it can no longer do damage. So cut dead things, remove dead things for the health and the growth of your plant and for your life.